Well, good morning to you all. And pretty soon I'm going to be saying good night to you all too. Just got home from work, just kind of relaxing right now, transitioning toward bed. So uh, I figured that I would talk a little bit about what's kind of hot on the news right now among the online left. Uh, and I feel like I'm just being one great big gossip right at this moment because I'm a very, 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 very insignificant, tiny little dust particle on some of the bigger personalities out there. Hardly any of them know who I am. Uh, but I just want to give my take on all this that's going on in relation to Medicare for all, which is imperative for us to have as a nation if we are to be an advanced democracy. Because if we can't have Medicare for all, we're we're a barbaric society. We're going to be a barbaric society. But let me talk about online left wing personalities. Let's not act like this is something that's unique to the left. Because over the years, I've seen people on the right wing talk radio not particularly keen or lovey dovey toward each other. For example, Michael Savage, who I have no use for, hates Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, and Mark Levin. Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity act like Michael Savage doesn't exist, and Michael Savage is a nutcase. If you haven't ever heard it, if you never heard his show. But Mark Levin and Michael Savage are pretty vocal at how much they despise each other. And I don't like Michael Savage, but Mark Levin is even a bigger sack of shit than Michael Savage, and I don't like either one of them. And that was about a decade ago, and they were on the air with a little pot shots at each other, and one little insult hurtled back, and then the next day another insult went back and forth. Down in South Carolina, the Southern Avenger, known as Jack Hunter, he and Mark Levin went at it again. Um, Jack Hunter is going to be the lesser evil too when it comes to Mark Levin. Mark Levin is just a just an asshole. I mean, if there's anybody who makes me cringe, it's Mark Levin. Alex Jones, we all know him. Alex Jones, where the fluoride in the water is turning the frogs gay, and and the lizard people, and the Sandy Hook was a hoax. I confess, I kind of missed that. Not his politics, but his um his delivery. I can't take him seriously. And when they banned Alex Jones 2 years ago, it was like they took my access to entertainment away. Because I mean, I used to crack up with all that, which I'm going to get back to what I'm talking about in a moment. But I'm going to tell you about I'm not going to call it a nightmare because I woke up and I was laughing my ass off. Oh my goodness, I was. Um, Alex Jones made a comment years ago, real life. Alex Jones made a comment real life years ago that that he thinks that supporters of Bernie Sanders should have their jaws broken. The Amazing Atheist was talking about that on his commentary. Um, I went to sleep one night, and for some reason, I was dreaming I was somewhere in Texas, and Alex Jones saw me and recognized me, and I'm thinking, "Oh shit, he's gonna break my jaw because I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter." Well, he rushed toward me. He rushed toward me and was running toward me, and and he's as I thought he was going to attack me. I'm just like, oh shit. and he screamed to the top of his lungs, "Move out of my way! I'm trying to save this republic!" And then he ran past me. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then I woke up and I was just like, that was one fucked up dream. I mean, it was not a nightmare. I was more amused than anything. It's just like, I mean, it was just as vivid as it could be. Looking like I was going to get attacked by Alex Jones. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm going to get back to what I was saying. This is nothing new under the sun. Basically, the media personality fights. And it unfortunately is existing on the left these days, and it's getting very, very, very loud. In the last couple of weeks, about 2 weeks ago, Jimmy Dore for the Jimmy Dore Show came up with with a pretty damn good suggestion, because the Democrats have lost some seats. They have a reduced majority as a result of the election, and they're not doing anything to try to bring us Medicare for all. The only thing they're doing is they're promising us a public option, which we know they're not even going to do that. For all the Republicans and the MAGAs and the Trumpsters and all the right-wing people out there who thinks that the election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris going to bring us socialism and we're going to have a socialized medical system, you can relax now. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. So, but anyway, Jimmy Dore says maybe the squad and a handful of allies in Congress, they're not in the squad, but committed to Medicare for all, essentially the Medicare for all caucus, get together and provide an ultimatum from Nancy Pelosi. You've heard me talk about this before. And that ultimatum is, hey, Speaker Pelosi, Madam Speaker, you provide an up and down vote for Medicare for all. And if you do, we're going to support you for Speaker of the House. If you don't, we're just going to sit on our hands and abstain and not bother to vote for you. And you're not going to be Speaker of the House anymore, and you're just going to be a backbencher. Well, as I said, there's been kind of a mixed response and some misunderstanding along the way. Sam Seder, if you don't know who Sam Seder is, his program is Majority Report, and he makes it no secret that he despises Jimmy Dore. And in fact, watching his program almost every week, I would hear him sit there and just talk smack against Jimmy Dore. And it's kind of funny, but it's kind of repetitive and tiresome. And I'm not really, and I've said this before too, I'm not the biggest fan of Sam Seder. It's not that I don't agree with him. I largely agree with him, but I mean, his delivery is not, he's kind of boring to me. I feel like I've made a joke that he reminds me of a young Ben Stein with a DSA membership card. You remember the movie Ferris Bueller Day Off? Bueller, 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 as he called his name in the classroom. Roll call. That's who. That's Sam Seder reminds me of. Like if Ben Stein was a social democrat. As much as he hates Jimmy Dore, he's receptive to the idea of giving Nancy Pelosi some hell. So I like to say that there should be some hope for him, but I say that cautiously, and you'll see why in a moment. Tim Black, I've been listening to a lot of Tim Black lately, and a few days ago he got into a back and forth Twitter battle with Jimmy Dore, and they were good friends, but I think that friendship has come to a screeching halt, and it's too bad because I actually like Tim Black, and I listen to his show usually every morning when I come home from work, and he, I mean, he is a very, very serious person that lays a lot of insight, and he's got a great sense of humor too to go along with it, and just I feel like if I ever met Tim Black in person, that we would get along for some reason. I just get that impression, and I hate the fact that he and Jimmy Dore are no longer friends because of everybody's frustrations of us not having Medicare for all. Um, Now Jimmy Dore himself, um, I don't know him personally either, but do I, I have a feeling that I mean he seems like I like what he has to say. I know he's kind of an ass. He's kind of mean to people at times. It's funny. It's funny because I'm not the recipient of it, but I mean, yeah, he's probably somebody I don't think I could hang out with, what have you. Just his demeanor alone. But the anger I still identify with, and Sam Cedar doesn't like the anger, and some people have nicknamed Jimmy Dore the Alex Jones of the left, and I can actually see that. But the thing about it is, I identify with that anger. Now, I have that middle way between Jimmy Dore's anger and the more cerebral side of Sam Cedar, and that equilibrium is met with Kyle Kalinske. He sort of incorporate both together, and that's why Kyle Kalinske is pretty much my go-to. And Kyle Kalinske is kind of involved in this feud in a way too. He did a commentary yesterday on this. And a Kasparian. I mean, I'm at my last straw with the TYT. It ain't the TYT of 2012 anymore. um, since Jimmy Dore left, and and just the Trump derangement syndrome and the Russian gate, it's like TYT's turned into MSNBC light. And Kyle Kalinske is the only reason I still have anything positive to say about TYT, because if Kyle Kalinske show becomes independent and exit out of the TYT and goes on his own or go with another online progressive grouping, I will be like wash my hands completely of TYT. And it's such a shame because just because the TYT's actually done so much over the years to give the internet the online left presence that's available today. And so it's sad that that's what's happened to them. But Anna Kasparian does not like does not like Jimmy Dore, and it's obvious. And she's one of those naysayers against putting the Medicare for all thing up to a vote, or actually trying to make too much of a ruckus in the U.S. House of Representatives. And then recently, Ben Dixon gave his 2 cents worth as well. And he did this morning, watching him, Emma Vigeland, and Sam Cedar on Majority Report. And needless to say, I was very upset just listening to it. Well, I mean, at least Sam Cedar to me was the reasonable one, because you know Benjamin Dixon and Emma Vigeland wanted to go and lash out completely, even more against Jimmy Dore than Sam Cedar. As hard as it is to believe that I'm saying that, because he knows it's a good idea, and it is a good idea to go make life a living hell for Nancy Pelosi. Now, what I didn't appreciate the other day watching Jimmy Dore was him using the foul language that he used toward AOC. If you would have used it toward Nancy Pelosi, I would have been fine with it. Because I'll tell you myself, fuck Nancy Pelosi. And, and fuck every corporate Democrat that's turned that Democratic Party into the sewage it has. But there's no reason to attack AOC. There's no reason to attack Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman, um, Ayanna Presley, Rashida Tlaib, or Ilhan Omar, or any of the other members of Congress that supports Medicare for all, including Bernie Sanders in the U.S. Senate. There's no reason to attack them. You got a right to criticize them. They are not above criticism. God love them, but they're not above criticism. Even Bernie Sanders, who remains a hero of mine, gets criticized by me occasionally. Of course, I'm insignificant, but having that said, but but it's all about personality, and so they're accusing Jimmy Dore of being a grifter and all that. I mean, he's not being a grifter. I mean, he's being Jimmy Dore. Yeah, he can be an abrasive asshole at times, but you know what? I still respect him just the same because man keeps it real. Now, I don't like the way he sometimes, as I said, he's a little hot headed, and he can be a douchebag at times, and I will agree with some of his critics when it comes to that sort of thing. But if I have to choose between listening to someone cerebral like Sam Seder or David Pakman, and I listen to David Pakman too, I had to choose between the cerebral nature of David Pakman and Sam Seder, and having to have a little more nails on the chalkboard, someone like a Jimmy Dore, or someone like the Amazing Atheist, who has a brash personality too. I would take Jimmy Dore and the Amazing Atheist any day over Sam Seder or David Pakman, and that's where I stand on this. So as I said, just I just think it's ridiculous. It's come down to this, and Sam Seder, Benjamin Dixon, and Emma Begelin basically thought that what Jimmy Dore is doing with his brashness and his abrasive combative style and his anger has set Medicare for all back by 12 years or something like that, several years, and I don't believe that. Here's the thing. We've been trying to fight for Medicare for all for many years, many years. And there's always an excuse. And always this. We don't have enough Democrats. We don't have enough votes. Oh, or there's going to be bad public relations if we pursue this. What will, we may not win this election if we pursue this. This is never the time. This is never the time. This is never the time. And it's always all kinds of excuses. So, for God's sake, cut Jimmy Dore some fucking slack. I mean, I believe that anger is real and sincere. I feel it. I did it myself the other day, out of my own. I'm frustrated as well that we're in the United States and we are still the last industrialized democracy in the Western world not to have socialized medicine, a national healthcare system, any form of universal healthcare at all. It is a crime. It is an absolute crime that, I mean, as I said, we fund two single payer systems in Iraq and Afghanistan. We may have bombed the shit out of them, but we gave them health care afterwards. And we can't afford that, I mean, look at the billions we give to Israel every year. And look, they provide socialized medicine for their citizens too. And you look at all our NATO allies. They all provide free medical care for the people. And you're telling me that we have to keep waiting, to quote the rapper Killer Mike. And I'm not exactly a rap fan, but to quote the rapper Killer Mike, the time is now. We got to stop with this. Well, we can't do it, but we can't do it this time because of point A, B, C, and D. It's just not practical to do it this time. So let's wait another year, or let's wait till we get more Democrats, or let's wait till primaries open up as early as 4 years from now, when Joe Biden is not going to be seeking re-election and Kamala Harris is going to be the presumptive nominee until somebody challenges her. But by the time that comes along, we're going to be like, oh, we can't do that, because if we challenge Kamala Harris, who's not for Medicare for all, it's going to cause too much division, and the Republicans are going to be in position to win. And you're scared that the Republicans are always going to go and take over. Guess what? They always end up taking over. So you might as well make Nancy Pelosi uncomfortable. Make her uncomfortable. Make her sweat. Just as I said, and when I say intimidate, bully, and harass, I don't mean in a stalking, physical sort of way, but in a political way. You got, the Tea Party were fucking aggressive as hell and obnoxious as hell, and they just didn't sit there and wait and go by procedure. They just went in there, and they were willing to take a wrecking ball and knock the Republicans out of the way unless they play ball. This is what we need to do here too. We need to do that. As I said, people are dying. And I'm not going to be as angry as I was the other day. Please forgive me for my temper tantrum the other day. It just makes me mad sometimes when I think about how with this pandemic and the fact that even if we didn't have a pandemic, the fact that we are still the last industrialized democracy without universal health care. That's a crime, and we need to stop that. Even Kyle Kalinske, who is close with AOC, who is close with AOC, has kind of gotten on her about it too. I mean, he didn't do it in a jerky way that Jimmy Dore did it, but he's frustrated and he's right to call out AOC. And I love AOC to death. She doesn't know who the hell I am, but I mean, I'm a big fan of AOC. She's my favorite member of Congress, and I hate the fact that I mean, I do understand that she and the squad they got their hands are tied. Their hands are tied, and I get that. But at the same time, it's time to bite the bullet, and it's time to tell the corporate Democrats that they need to cooperate and listen to us. If not, there are going to be consequences. There's going to be consequences. Don't worry about fucking Republicans taking over. They're going to take over anyway in the year 2022. So they're going to blame. They're going to blame the squad no matter what. You might as well just take that wrecking ball and do what you need to do. And if the Republicans take over, the advantage of that is that they're going to fuck things so bad that people are going to realize that the squad and the politics of the squad is the answer. So that's just basically my food for thought today. And I'm sorry to ramble on, and I'm going to try to talk about other things, but as I said, this is what's really going on right now in our little tiny little corner of the online left. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you were like not totally in agreement with what I have to say, well, we can agree to disagree. Comment anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you that if you have a platform and you're passionate about something, utilize it. If you're passionate about something, you don't have that platform, develop the platform. Utilize it, because we're all the muckrakers of our time. And most importantly, feel free to hit that subscribe button to help make this channel grow. And furthermore, remember, I am American social democracy. Until next time, peace, and Bernie Sanders for president in the year 2024.